Good morning, this is Robert Forsch with the, of course, NASA Lies about almost everything. This is the moon set, and this is on where I live, on my street. About 7 miles away, right in that direction, is the ocean, and the sun is approaching from right over there. I'm going to take us right down the street where I live, pointing right at our driveway. So earlier this year I had a video where I was in the front yard and the sun was setting right about where the moon is currently going to be setting. The sun and the moon move a course above the stationary Earth. Now the sun is setting, okay, so you can see where it was setting in the summer. In the winter now it's setting way over there. Correspondingly, today the sun is approaching from right over there, while earlier in the summer it was coming up way over there. I'm vlogging, and one of the reasons why I'm going to do that is simply because it establishes the reality of where I am. There's no computer fakery. This is just a way of putting together some real data that you can evaluate. Wind chimes don't hang upside down. And this is the, I've got the Truth Mobile and the Truth Cycle here too. I take that around when it's a little bit difficult to get around with beach traffic. I can get around just fine with this baby. That's what I do. This will help us to see that a little bit better too. When the truth is right in front of you, what will you do with that? And that's one of the reasons why I do this. I want you to be able to base your decisions for your eternal perspective on a reality, not fake CGI. Okay. So I'm taking us into the Prince Resort area. You can see the YouTube Truth right through the back window there. Last night I did a video recording of the lunar eclipse. Not exactly sure what caused the eclipse. There's other celestial bodies in this world, not just the sun, moon, and stars. Rahu and Ketu are a couple of names. It sounds odd. We don't hear about that from NASA. Of course, they're not going to present that kind of information to us for obvious reasons. Okay, so this is heading down my street, Cloverleaf Drive in Longs, and I'll drive us all the way on in. And one of the reasons for that is it's vlogging. Before I even realized what vlogging was, I was doing it. And it's been very interesting for me to see the development of what I do and how I do it. So when it comes to the sunrise this morning, I'll probably not be doing the live recording or the live broadcast on Facebook. I'm not exactly sure about that. I'm definitely going to be using the P1000 that's in the bag there. It's a thermos type cooler, water resistant in that. And then you get to see what this looks like on my way in. Any of the water that we see typically will be flat and level, like in the ditches there. Can't see any there. Let's see, are we going to see any here? Yeah, there it is, right down in the middle. So the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area this past year in 2018 had approximately 20 million guests. It's a lot of people. So it in fact is a mission field that comes to us. This morning the temperature is, I was going to show you, I can't quite show you there, it's 29 degrees. On my way in the other day, a gentleman, apparently 45 years old, was hit on the road right in front of us here, down in front of the car dealership. I've got a short video showing a shoe on the ground, a body covered up, and all kinds of emergency vehicles. One of the reasons why I do that, it just shows the brevity of life and a reminder that 3 people per second no longer have their human experience. I don't believe I ever talked to that gentleman. I'm not sure. I do meet a lot of people, including homeless people I reach out to as well. He died apparently right here. I've got other live broadcasts where I've done the drive-in, and you can see it. This little water retention pond off to the left here, we'll see a car driving up that, I believe. Yeah, there he is. Can't see the reflections right now, but the water is, there he is, demonstrably flat. They carve those puddles out to create the overpass to support the concrete. The earth is motionless, stationary, and the celestial bodies move above us. That's just the reality of the world that we live in. As well as 3 people per second no longer have their human experience. We're all eternal beings having a temporary human experience. That's a big deal. It's a really big deal. I want people to base their eternity on truth and not deception. So for those that are thinking I'm wasting my time and distracted by just not sticking to the gospel, well, there's the digital me that's got the gospel, the audio Bible posted, and a lot of content there about that, as well as the Gospel of John movie and a lot of activity with that. The other thing is, then I've got friends that are in the flat earth movement, truth movements, that believe I'm just too biblical. I need to just stay focused. I am focused. This is a battle for truth, and the souls of men, women, and children are at stake. What I'm going to do with this video after I get back home will be to post it on YouTube. Coming up here is Bridgewater, a new hospital development there. Millions of dollars. Bridgewater is across the road to the left. There used to be a water tower there. You could see it on previous videos. Now I've taken that down. This is a retirement community development, just gorgeous. I've done video in there as well. And that's kind of how it goes. A lot of people will retire here. And it's not just a retirement community. It's beautiful condominiums, single-family homes, and all of that. I like to go the speed limit. I've got a bit of a bullseye on me. I'm all licensed, insured, and I drive carefully. I give preference to the drive. I can certainly talk and point the camera, and I look where I need to look. This approaching is the Intracoastal Waterway. It's the bridge I'll be going over here. Yeah, my blinkers blink fast because they're high intensity, low draw LED lights. All my lights are working. That's what I do. Got a computer system helping me drive the car, keeping the speed set. That really makes a big difference because it'll do it extremely accurately. This is the Atlantic Intracoastal Waterway. And we can see where the sun is approaching and now where the moon is setting. See how that is? And I've got a video of it where it's setting in a radically different location. That's part of the mystery of all this, is that the sun and the moon and stars move their courses above the stationary Earth. They not only cause or tell us what season it is and what time of the day, they cause it. That's the other thing. So when there's the duration of visibility with the sun and the moon in relationship to one another changes radically. Now, in 2018, I believe it was, I had a video that was featured, or not just, it wasn't necessarily featured, it was on the recent post I did from Celebrate Truth to show the full lunar eclipse, blood wolf moon, and that what I showed was the moon setting and the sun approaching, sun rising. The poles in the view, the light poles, don't get shorter. They just appear that way based on our perspective. The sun is moving towards us. One of the reasons we don't have daylight 24/7 in the whole world is the sun, quite frankly, is smaller and much more locally distributed light. When I turn the light on my porch, it doesn't light up Myrtle Beach. Okay, when the sun moves a course above the face of the Earth, it doesn't make everything light. This used to be a vacant lot. Now it's one of the prettiest gas marts, travel plazas around, with high power generator to operate the food cooling and the fuel distribution and the electronic transfers that would need to take place in a power outage. I talked about that. I wanted to find out if they had a generator. There it is. It's a massive generator. Many of the hotels are wired up with cell towers and generators to give communications even in a power outage. That's all part of the deal. We've got the moon set at 7:38 and the sunrise at 7:16. I'm going to take us in the back way. To the left, as I drive on by the Coastal Preserve, we'll be able to see the water tower silhouette and a new cell tower that's gone up. That's the Black Pearl Gulf, putt-putt type Gulf. There's the Coastal Preserve right there, the water tower, cell towers, all of that. We can see it's a real clear morning, low humidity and low temperature. So I can't necessarily get video and photos of the moon and sun anytime I want. It needs to be when there's an appropriate amount of clarity in the atmosphere. This puts a date and time stamp on all of this. That's part of the reason for it. It's not self-aggrandizement. It's not, oh, look at me. It's like, no, look at the creation that we live in and make your best decisions on that. Wow, this thing is got a lot of scaffolding around it. Look at that. They're doing quite an upgrade. There's massive generators and cell tower all around that. I don't know what kind of upgrades they're all doing to it. I will be pulling into the Coastal Preserve here in just a moment. There's another water tower straight down the road. That's right near the point in Cherry Grove. This right here is the Prince Resort, and it's pretty quiet this morning. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and show you what it looks like from this vantage point. It doesn't look like anybody staying here right now. The water is the big clue with the shape of the world, because undisturbed water is flat and level, does not conform to a ball shape. So we'll see the mirror that this is right here. There's ripples on the water, but it's flat, and that's that. Whether you like it or not. A lot of people are really upset about all this. They've been lied to and they believed it. Oh well, we were all lied to. Okay, so there we've got the moon, and this is Duffy Street. And of course the Truthmobile. It's good to hashtag it. I hashtag my titles, create videos to maximize my effort. Had a rather long conversation with a gentleman last night that had a made-up mind, and pretty young guy. He wanted to set me straight on how confused I was. Oh well. Yeah, that's not the case. I'm not confused, and I'm rather focused on what I do. And when I create a video to answer some of the most commonly asked questions, that's a way of maximizing my time. There's this me and then the digital me that does not get tired. I sleep a few hours a day because, well, I need to. That's just what I do. I've got video that I've shot in this area at great lengths, actually. I've got time-lapse footage in this area, as well as other video that I've shot where I've had some pretty long explanations of things. Prince Resort right there. The ocean is right on the other side. I'll be going up into the parking ramp. This right here, of course, the moon, and the Porta unit right in the middle. We don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. Well, hello. It's just water seeking its level. Tides coming in. Sometimes people say, well, the toilet flush is different here than in the southern hemisphere. Well, right in the middle of the view there are two culverts, actually 4 culverts running under the road to equalize the water level. And I've got those whirlpools spinning opposite directions right next to one another, clearly seen in the thumbnail. Just to answer that statement with reality. That's what I prefer. I prefer reality to answer the continual questions of the programmed individuals that are obviously deceived. Oh well. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that people are deceived. I'll do what I do to try and help enlighten them on that deception. There's no polite way of saying, hey, you know what? If you believe you live on a globe, I know you're deceived. No matter who you are. Could be the President of the United States saying we're going to have the Space Force. You're deceived. Trump, if you believe we went to the moon, YouTube Truth. Hashtag it. Check it out. I'll hashtag your name, Donald. I've done that before. PewDiePie, Logan Paul, check it out. Look into this. You're either exposing the truth by making fun of people like me, actually making fun of me. PewDiePie. He picked up over 21 million subscribers after making fun of me and the truth and other flat eartheners, as he calls us. That's fine. I don't mind. I'm not even upset with them for doing that. A whole lot of video gamers are waking up. Yeah, they're maybe taking their headphones off and jumping into reality. Why not? Okay, so let's show you the view right here. There's where the culverts go under the road here, and then we can see the flat water there. there's ripples on it. I take videography, photography of this world and show people, show you if you care to. You can look at my photo album. It's been shared a lot of times. I'm at over 25 million views conservatively because the truth matters. It's God's plan to help me show people the reality of the world that we live in. The point in Cherry Grove is down the road there, a couple miles, and this is the Prince Resort. I should be able to have a continuous broadcast all the way up the ramp. I do believe what I'll do for now is make a quick loop around the parking lot where I've done a lot of broadcasts from. More recently as well, I've been having sound problems. My mobile mic is breaking up, and I don't want to have that happen, so I'm using an MV88 on my iPhone 10 for this, and I'll probably just be going direct with the P1000 without a mobile microphone. The clarity is absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to jump on out here for a minute. I don't know that I'm going to be able to show you any moon from here based on perspective. But I will when I do believe I'll be able to when I get up in the parking ramp there. This is facing southeast. Right here. There's a gentle breeze blowing offshore, probably about 3 miles an hour. This is evidence of how the dunes are formed. The wind moves the sand. It collects around brush and things that float up here, and then we end up with more dunes. See, the moon is setting way over there. I'm going to walk on down the beach a little bit to show you. I know I can show you from up there. I'll be up in the corner, up at the top there. This is all cameraed up. That's one of the reasons why I like it. You can operate the cameras on the Prince Resort, the end of the Cherry Grove Pier, which is just about 1,000 feet long. I've got video of Donald running a bulldozer under the pier here a couple years ago. I've got Veeams showing upside down views. It's pretty hard to look at, pretty hard to watch. No, we can't see the moon now, can we? How about that? It's just the way it is from this vantage point. One of the advantages that I have here is being able to show you the sun coming up over the ocean. From this vantage point, it'll be right in that area. In the summertime, it comes up way over there. How about that? Obvious the sun and the moon moving, not the earth. You don't feel do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? Some people say yes. I say go ahead and seek some help for that, because it certainly isn't the earth. I'm a free man sharing a message to set other people free. I was an active drug addict and alcoholic. The brain produces chemicals that God created to operate our emotions. There's a huge benefit for obediently walking with Him, and part of that is to be born again. He gave me new life. He gave me His Holy Spirit and a love for the truth concurrently, simultaneously. That's why I do this. I remember when when I found a good drug dealer, I would say, hey, I found, you know, sometimes I would tell a really good friend, he's got a good supply and it's good quality. Well, this is way better than a drug, like something illegal or harmful. I'm exposing the reality of the need to be born again, and then what it's like after that happens. It's awesome. That's why I do this. Now, there's the moon right now. And in the video that I captured that's on that particular blood moon video, it was setting in that area. I'll be able to show you today. In all of this, what's kind of funny is we've got 6 cats without much hair on them. They're called Sphinx kitties. And Dean Martin loves to chew cords, so I'm continually charging devices, so I've got cords that are vulnerable potentially. So I've got to be real careful to protect them from Dean. There's the moon in the middle of the view. We've got convex mirrors, blind spot mirrors. They give a bigger view, but they distort, right? That's how it works. And the plane mirror, flat mirrors, show the perfect symmetry of what it reflects. That's why this is a big deal. That's one of the reasons why I like mirrors. It's not so I can look at myself. Oh well. No, it's so that I can help illustrate things. If I have a wall of mirrors, a wall that's flat with the mirror, it'll have like one view of a certain of the corresponding wall. If I've got multiple mirrors directed even slightly differently, I can have, like in my broadcast studio now, I've got one TV set that can be viewed from a variety of locations, off of a variety of different, bouncing off of it multiple times. I could operate the remote from, you know, bouncing it off of many different mirrors. Let's see, here's the water tower. We'll just keep on going up. Can you tell we're going up? See how the view is raised? Now we're leveling off. It's just the way it is. Pretty flat here, then we're going to get ready to go up another level. See how the view is? Pretty flat. And that's that. Pretty flat. Now we're going up. Moving up. There it is. One of the other reasons why I vlog, some people say, oh, it must be nice to go to the beach. Yeah, it is. I love it. It's a lot of work. I am glad to be able to do what I get to do. It's not a chore, it's a delight to do what God created me to do. That is the point of that. So there's an endocannabinoid system that the marijuana THC tetrahydrocannabinol activates. Oh well, I would rather do what Jesus created me to do, and I'm not riding dirty. He makes me real happy. I did some of the stupidest stuff ever when I was stoned, when I was high on marijuana, and who knows what else was in that stuff. It was always a bit of a mystery. Okay, so I've got geese coming in, and I'm just going to pull on over. There's nobody following me that I'm aware of. Oh, these are other seabirds. That's the coastal preserve right where we were. And of course the tower and the the moon right there. I'm going to keep us going up. So I believe that God's word is true and all others are suspect. Yes, the God of the Bible, the God who authored Scripture. I didn't pick myself up by my own bootstraps. I was wondering why, if I was truly born again, why was I still an active alcoholic and drug addict? Okay, so the reason why, all I had was my flesh. This is a perfect example of flat water in an urban display with minimal disturbance. It's just a puddle. That's the low spot right there. That's a concave or convex mirror. Hey y'all. And that's the horizon with no visible curvature. How about that? Let me run this real tight to the side there. See how we've got the vertical building and the x-axis, the left to right horizon. The water tower in the middle of the view there is down at the point in Cherry Grove, where I've done a lot of videography. Whoops. Okay, that's the quickest way to flip it around. This is simply illustrating how high the water is right here as well. Looks like the bright spot right there is where we're going to see the sun ultimately appear. So in a hurricane, when they generate a storm or steer one this way, here's the puddle with the light right up there. If I move a little bit this way, it's gone. Now it's back. Look at the symmetry of that right there. If I want to put my lights in there, there they are. It's perfect. That's the way it's set up. You can tell we're looking down now. I'm wanting to help develop critical thinking skills in people that are looking at my content. Here's the Prince Resort. And look at the no curvature. Let me hold this right tight. There we go. Vertical building, horizontal horizon, just as it should be. That's the truth. You can YouTube it. You'll find a lot of my content there. So if I set this up like this, let's it's a mirror. That is a mirror. You should be able to see me really good in there. That's how that works. And it is nice to have a heater. Wow, we picked up 1 degree. So there we can see the curved mirror, which is my hood, and then it vanishes as we move ahead over the water. There is a swimming pool up above, and there's ice right there. See that? It's a change of state. Do you know how much a gallon of water weighs? Well, that depends on the temperature. The temperature change changes the density and the volume. Drives the whole hydrologic cycle, the water cycle of the world. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation in the forms of rain, snow, sleet, fog. We've got a pile of salt there for melting ice as well as water treatment. There's the perfect flat mirror. The clues are all around. The flat earth clues are all over the place. I'm going to back up a bit, and I want to show you something. I've videoed and photographed these wires, these cables. Let me step right here. It's a good spot for it. So right about in the middle of the structure, actually it would be right over there. Yeah, but I won't be able to get as good of a view of the horizon. This is a pretty flat area, so I'll go right here and drop this on down, and there's the cable lined up with the horizon. See it? No trickery, just reality. That's what we got. There's the light, the reflection of all of that, flat water, water towers up all around, because with 20 million guests, that's a lot of toilet flushing and laundry doing. A lot of linens, a lot of personal hygiene needing to be done. You go spend a day at the beach, and it's important to get hosed off. A lot of swimming pools, a lot of irrigation, golf courses, and the like. That's the end of the road there, right? Okay. So just as I told you, I would be parking back here. All right, there we go. Wow, that was perfect. Look at, did you see the lighting on that bird? That was pretty amazing. Here's a bunch of birds coming this way. That is the Myrtle Beach skyline, zoomed in approximately 10 times with the iPhone 10. And there's the oversized eyebrows. They make fun of my eyebrows. Good. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Some of the groups are pretty carnivorous. They're pretty filled with a lot of hate. Why is that? Why would people be so angry and hateful? Oh well, it's the way it is. There we go. You can see the offshore wind, the way that the ripples on the water are, and that tide's going to come up pretty high. I tip this down and there's no curvature, right? Vanishing point. You can look for it. I did. I was asked by a friend, where's the curve? And I thought, Nigel Bakes, my friend from Tasmania, are you okay, Nigel? Yeah, he said there's no curvature. They lied about the Earth. We're not living on a globe. How about that? That's okay. I knew we didn't come from monkeys. I knew that was a lie. I don't know how much of the wind you can hear now, but it picked up to probably 20 miles an hour through this little opening here. Wow. I'm going to need to get me in the Truthmobile. I'm not dressed for this kind of thing now. I've got plenty of clothes in the car. Now, just stepping in here, I don't feel much of that wind at all, much of that breeze. So, like, if I want to put the reflection of the car there, I just put the car right there, and the symmetry of that will be perfect. I may do that. I want you to see through the global lie. Here, let's whip that bad boy out. Does that even look possible that people and stuff could stick to the bottom of that? It's not. It's a lie. See, when you look at the curved water, or I should say the supposed curve of the globe, we don't see any of it there on the horizon. I'm probably in the neighborhood of 100 feet up in the air right now. That's the truth. And there's the moon right in the middle of the view. And the wired up water tower that we went by. The truth is the globe is a lie. Why would they lie? Well, it's a battle for the souls of men, women, children. The temperature, this is a lot more deflated now because it's gotten a lot colder. I'll throw it in here. It'll warm up, and I'll have more pressure in it. It's just the way it is. This is the YouTube Truth sign that's on the billboard, in front of the billboard in Colorado. It's just a window shade I can throw up when I want to. It just went around the world again on a live broadcast. That's why I do that. You know, I could put it on the windshield of the car up here in the parking ramp, and maybe a couple of people would see it in the course of a day. I can incorporate it into this, and it could be seen by people all over the world. They're coming out today to look at this. Let's zoom in on what's going on with that wind. Look at it. We can't see the wind, though. We can see the sand moving. The people coming out to take pictures. Oh, yeah. She's approaching. Wow. I think I'm going to need to... There it is. That's pretty interesting looking, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to zoom it back out. I'm gonna leave this going, and I just need to get it rigged up. I spin my tripod back on here. And let's see. Okay, from this vantage point, there's the moon and the sunrise right through there. Let's pull it back over here. Wow, a dolphin! Just saw him. Let's see if I can get him coming up again, right about in that area where the big finger is. Let's see. Come on, baby. Where are you? Right in the surf there. It's feeding time. We get sharks out there too. I can see them in the view. Okay, I've got to set this up and grab the P1000 and my gloves because I am freezing right now. Wow, that's pretty spectacular. Wow, I'm breathing in too much exhaust. I gotta shut that off. All right, so this is my this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth, and I've got a simulcast going on, recording with the P1000, which I will link with the live broadcast that I have going on right now. So for those of you watching the Facebook, some of what I say will be redundant. I'll merge it with some compelling video. Okay, we can see the sun approaching right now, pretty spectacular. And I'm going to flip it around right here and show you the moon as the sun approaches. Right now, that's full moon. We had the lunar eclipse last night. You can hashtag YouTube Truth, my YouTube channel. I'm at the Prince Resort parking garage in the Cherry Grove, South Carolina area, and we can clearly see the sun approaching right there. The sun and the moon and stars move above the stationary Earth, where there's no visible curvature on the horizon whatsoever. That's the x-axis. The reason they're lying is to present a godless cosmic Big Bang. It's part of an elaborate deception, and I'm leveraging worldwide instantaneous communications with friends and family all over the world, leveraging this technology to show the reality to a world that has a population that's largely deceived. Satan is an opportunist. He'll use who and what he can, and God uses it all, including Satan. That's the way it works. I get to do what I want because the God who now lives in and through me, the author of Scripture, puts the want to do what he created me to do. It's a perfect fit. We had the sun appear at 7:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the moon set is at 7:38 a.m. The sun is local and small. I'm not sure the exact distance and diameter. I'm definitely for sure that it's not 93 million miles away and 1.5 million Earth sizes. The reason it's not daylight everywhere in the world is because we've got moisture. We've got particulate. Wow. We've got a gorgeous sunrise there, don't we? See how the sun skips across the high spots, the waves. That's my live broadcast going on right there. That's the Myrtle Beach skyline right there. And the Prince Resort right here. Had a dolphin down in the view just a little while ago. Job 37 states that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. Joshua 10, God stopped the sun from moving to give Joshua victory. If you've got a problem with God causing the children of Israel to kill men, women, children, and animals, accounts in Scripture, what you should know is that they were corrupting the population of the world, the fallen angels, so they were a demonically enhanced population, not enhanced, demonically corrupted. Genesis 6 talks about it. The book of Enoch talks about it. The reflections in the Zoom right now that is on the P1000 would just be the way the individual reflections on different areas of the water are reflecting. It's gorgeous. I've got a lot of occurrences of the sun appearing to be in the midst of the clouds, I believe, because it is. And it's pretty mysterious how it actually works. When I did the recording last year of the Great American Eclipse, as they called it, the moon was nowhere near where it would have been to cause what we saw. At that time, I was getting ready to go to my dad's memorial because he passed on. He was one of the 3 people per second that happened to him last year. He had a heart attack and a stroke, and lost his Porsche, Lexus, house on the hill, and his financial portfolio. The medical industrial complex is designed to extract a whole lot of money from a whole lot of people before they transition so that they don't pass that on as a legacy to the family as well. You should know that. My mother died of cancer about 25 years ago. She said, Bobby, if the cancer doesn't get you, the treatment will. She was right. It's toxic. Healthy nutrients in the body healthy focus of attention, as in I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, meditating on Scripture day and night and listening to it, sharing it worldwide. It's a powerful reality. No weapon formed against me will prosper, or you, if you're a child of God. If you are a child of God, have you actually been born again? That's the really big deal. It's important to make sure that has happened. Satan's children aren't going to care. They don't want it. And we live about 7 miles that way. Where the moon is setting from this vantage point. Hey, Jeff, up in the parking garage. Hey, Ray, you're on video. All right, so what I'm going to do here now is spin this around and show you the moon set. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do, this is the classic Harris Tweed. Let's show you what that looks like when I go ahead and spin this around. I got to get my glove on, it's pretty chilly. Okay, where are we? There we are. The sun and the moon put off their own light, and there's definitely sun hitting the moon right now. That's obvious. However, it like charges it up as best we can tell. There's a different light spectrum, and there's a cooling effect with the moon. More moon and less sun, it's a lot colder wherever that's happening. So the sun is, or I should say the moon is moving apparently in an area that cools off the North America right now. And the sun is lower in the sky, which is further away from this vantage point, which gives more heat to other continents, less heat here. Right now the water temperature out there is in the low 50s. It's going to get a lot cooler with this temperature that's coming from the land right now, inland. The icebox that is the Midwest in the cool country. Evidently, of course, the sun is further away from there, and there's more moon present, so it's going to be a lot cooler there. When the wind blows in from the ocean, there's a warming effect, a tropical effect. That's just the reality of it. That's just how it actually works. And the sun and the moon appear to be about the same size because, best I can tell, they are. That's what I observe. The Tides Near Me is an effective app that I use to keep track of when the sun and the moon appear and vanish from this vantage point and their duration of visibility. I've been able to confirm the accuracy of that at this location. It's getting increasingly challenging to see the moon now as it moves away from us. Just to be clear, there would be no plumb or level on a spinning, wobbling, and of course the gyrating globe that exists only in the imagination. That's where it is. Let's put the water jug right here. Interesting, isn't it? Look at how quickly that levels out. I've got a new addition that I've added to my repertoire. That would be the crystal bell, which I'm going to bring out right now. evaporation, I should say the temperature differentials changes the density and the volume of the water. How much does a gallon of water weigh? Well, it depends on temperature. It drives the whole hydrologic cycle, the evaporation, condensation, and of course precipitation in all its forms, rain, snow, sleet, fog. We've got power generation because of water seeping its level through hydroelectric dams. And then we've got also steam generated electricity with radioactivity, nuclear power, steam generated by nuclear reactions or coal, natural gas, all of that. Then we've got the temperature differentials of the surfaces of the Earth, whether it's the water, which is a huge thermal sink reservoir, which stabilizes temperature. When water freezes, it floats on top of the liquid because it displaces a lot. Its buoyancy. You can hashtag it BUOYANCY. Buoyancy. It's true science. It's real science that confirms the reality of the world that we live in. Well, there I bumped the car and moved my bell a little bit. So there is a kaleidoscope of conspiracies. They're actually real, and then there's intentional, ridiculous conspiracy theories inserted to cause people to just reject the whole thing and forget about it. So on my YouTube channel, Truth, I've got a liked video playlist that covers many of those actual conspiracies. The Illuminati, artificial intelligence, AI, directed energy weapons, the military and medical industrial complexes, mind control that's been going on. Before the United States existed, it was way back in ancient times as well. Trauma-based mind control, human sacrifice, blood drinking, pedophiles, it's Satanists. Oh well, it's an upside down world. There's apparently it looks like evil is more powerful, and yet God allows it. Nothing of the epic proportions of the spinning, wobbling, and gyrating oblate spheroids that we live on. Because they're lying. They're lying about all of that. So that's the weapon of mass instruction. One of them. And what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and take this right up close. Let's see. What I've endeavored to do is to take the empirical evidence. For those of you who are not believing in a biblical creation, I would simply say, well, then what do you believe? What do you believe in? The Bible gets it right and NASA is lying. That's why I hashtag that so often. So I have on the P1000 video the moon vanishing right over there from this vantage point. Myrtle Beach skyline right over there in the middle of the view. And it's time to go ahead and pack it up, I believe. So let's see. So what is the truth? And when the truth is right in front of you, what will you do with it? Will you be able to recognize it? To be intellectually honest, if you were deceived, how would you know it? How would you be extracted from that deception? I believe it's only by God's grace that anybody can love and believe the truth, let alone find it.